Alright, so what is going on, guys? Welcome to another Garden Warfare 2 video. Today is another ability comparison video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Peashooters Hyper and Super P Jump. Now, in multiplayer games, you don't see too many people using the Super P Jump, but the majority of them use Hyper. So we're actually going to be taking a look at these two abilities in detail in today's video, and then I'm going to give my opinion on which one of these I prefer to use the most. Now, as always, we always take a look at the descriptions of these two abilities, and Hyper says when a pea shooter uses his Hyper ability, he will not only run incredibly fast, but can also jump extremely high. And the Super P Jump's description says the Super P Jump allows the pea shooter to get atop of places he was unable to reach before, but at the trade-off of speed. So those are the two descriptions for the two abilities. Hyper, you can jump higher and also move incredibly fast, but with Super P Jump you can jump even higher than when you use Hyper, but you don't have the extra speed. So those are the descriptions for the two abilities. Let's actually go in detail at these two abilities, and then I'm going to give you my overall opinion of which one of these two I prefer. So there isn't too much information to compare between these two abilities. What we are going to do though is take a look at how long these abilities last for, because once you use Hyper, you can actually move faster and jump higher for 8 seconds, whereas with the Super P Jump, you can only jump higher for 7 seconds. So using Hyper, you are going to have the extra second to be able to move quicker and also jump higher. Now, the next thing we're going to take a look at is how effective is the speed boost in Hyper. So you can see on screen right now the difference between the two speeds. You can see on the left we have the pea shooter using Hyper, and on the right we have the standard pea shooter not using Hyper, and you can see how much further you can actually travel using Hyper, and you can just judge yourself whether it's worth using that extra speed to get to objectives or to try and get away from a zombie. Personally, I think the Hyper speed is very useful to be able to get you to objectives quicker, and it's just useful to be harder to attack. So I think getting the extra speed is very beneficial. The next thing we have is how long do these two abilities take to cool down? Well, the Hyper and Super P Jump both take 24 seconds to actually recharge once you have finished using the ability. So technically, because the Super P Jump only lasts for 7 seconds, you're going to be able to use that 1 second sooner, because the Hyper ability is going to last for 1 extra second. If that kind of makes sense, hopefully it does make sense to you guys. But there we go, those are the two cooldown times for the abilities. They are both 24 seconds. And the final difference we have between these two abilities is how much higher does the Super P Jump actually jump than Hyper. Well, you can see on screen right now, on the left we have the Hyper Pea Shooter ability, and on the right we have the Super P Jump ability, and you can see that it's not a huge difference in height. It is noticeable. You can tell the difference between the jump height differences, but where is this going to come in handy? One example of where the Super P Jump's ability could come in handy is if you're playing Coliseum and you are on the B Suburbanation flag and you need to get away. You can actually jump in one jump all the way up to those kind of rock monuments that you do have right next to the B Suburbanation. With Hyper, it's going to take 2 jumps, so the Super P Jump can get up there in 1 jump, and you will be able to get away a little bit quicker. But to be honest, I don't really know many places in Garden Warfare 2 maps that actually require the Super P Jump. Most of them actually are able to get there with Hyper. It just may take an extra jump, or it's just able to be caught with Hyper anyway. So I don't really see where the Super P Jump is very effective. So overall, in my opinion, I prefer to use the Hyper ability. I like the extra speed to be able to get to the objectives quicker, move away from the zombies quicker, and also just be a little bit more of a nuisance. And the Hyper Jump that you do have seems to be almost good enough for everything. You seem to almost be able to get anywhere with the Hyper Jump, so you don't really need the Super P Jump to be able to get to spots where the pea shooter cannot reach. But there we go, guys. That is the ability comparisons between Hyper and the Super P Jump. Let me know in the comment section down below which one of these you use. I'm sure the majority of you will use Hyper over the Super P Jump, but hopefully you did enjoy the breakdown of these two abilities. Thank you very much for watching this video. My name is ZEROxFUSIONZ, and hopefully I will catch you guys next time.